All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all glory and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem HaKodash, the honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, honors and salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing his word in truth and sincerity. All right, this is the brother Tawab Rakhah from GMS Los Angeles / Inland Empire. Come back with another video in the spirit. And once again, Tawadi Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, for opening my eyes to this truth, allowing me to wake up another day and putting the spirit on me to do another lesson in hopes that I'll find the hopeful elect. Okay, so in this video, I'm just gonna be real quick. You know, things are moving. You know, we ain't got too much long in this place, man. Okay, and that's basically why I'm gonna center this video around. Today we had a outage due to Amazon. AWS, Amazon website service, I believe that's what it stands for. They had an outage, and even, you know, at my job, you know, we were affected. So a lot of the internet, a lot of these different apps that people use on a regular basis, you know, they weren't able to use it, you know, for a good portion of the day. And this is just goes to show you that, you know, hey man, we're close to this shit collapsing, man. You know, because this shit affected the stock market. Okay, a lot of businesses, you know, got affected by this outage. You know, and who knows whether it was a hack or a malfunction, you know, wherever the case may be. Hey, this is just goes to show that we at the end of this thing, man. This man's system is falling apart, you know, and we also know that eventually, you know, he wants to get rid of these platforms on the internet, because a lot of these platforms are exposing what's going on behind the scenes with, you know, with Esau, his plans and whatnot, you know. And first and foremost through the men of the Lord, the prophets, starting with our apostles, elders on down, you know. So I'm just going to bring out a few scriptures, and Lord willing, I pray this be edifying. All right, this is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 1. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I'm reproved. So us that's out there on the highways and byways, that's us standing upon our watch, okay? And also watching, you know, watching what's going on in the world, okay? Watching, you know, these different platforms, you know, alternative media sites, you know, to see what's going on in the world concerning the prophecies that's written in this book, okay? And then we go out there on the highways and byways, and also, you know, doing shows throughout the week, you know, for warning our people, warning Jake, you know, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as well as condemning 2/3 of our people, which is, once again, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, also the other nations, you know, primarily so-called white men, you know, all the way down to the so-called Africans, Chinese, Japanese, Hawaiian, so on and so forth, okay? So we're at the end, okay? So we see the signs that the Lord told us to look for, you know, and these things are increasing, man, you know, and the days are just flying, man. The Lord is definitely doing what he said he would do. You know, he said he would, you know, shorten the time, okay? And he's doing it. All right, it says, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it right. Because, you know, everything, the vision, which is talking about the end times, you know, everything that's written in this book, okay, we go out here, we bring it out. We let you know that, look, we know that we're in the last days, because these are the signs that the Lord said will be going on. These are the things that will be happening, you know, to let us know that we're close to who the one the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ returning. You know, that we're in that time of the Lord making his return. Okay. All the uproars in the world. Okay. You got wars, rumors of wars. Okay. You got, you know, a lot of false prophets out here. Okay. You got, you know, earthquakes in diverse places. You got all these, you know, these storms, catastrophes going on throughout the earth. All these things. Oh yeah, these eclipse, the solar eclipse, lunar eclipse. Okay, all these are signs. The Lord said that will be happening in the time of the end to let you know that he's close, that the kingdom of heaven is close. All right, it says, for the vision is yet for appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry, and it's not tarrying. Okay, it's not slacking, it's not lagging. You know, things are moving fast. You know, now appointed time, this is the time. This is the appointed time. And the end is speaking loud and clear. Those that have eyes to see can see it. Okay. And you see, we not sitting here, you know, in that sorrowful state that the people in the world are in, because we want this shit to go down. We want this shit to be destroyed. Okay, because we understand, you know, this is not our rest. This is not a place to, you know, to truly have peace and prosperity and you know, joy. Okay, this is oppression, man. We're in the land of our captives. Okay, and we understand that, you know, until the Lord come and free us, liberate us from the hands of this devil, we're gonna remain captives until that time. Okay, because this is captivity. Okay, so that time is coming, man, where, you know, this system as we once knew it, this way of, you know, having a 9 to 5 and, you know, being in that hamster wheel, this shit is almost over, man. Okay. All right, I got another one. This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 21. It says, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. Right. So that's the time that we're approaching, the great tribulation, a time like no other. You know, because it's about to get real bad out here, you know. And see, this day and the age that we're living in, people are being overworked and underpaid. Okay, so we're living in a time where a lot of people are depressed. A lot of people are angry and pissed off. Okay, a lot of people are in that sedition spirit, that uprising spirit. You know, because these people have been being squeezed, especially our people, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. But now these Edomites are starting to, and even these other nations that come over here to Babylon, they're starting to realize that this so-called American dream is bullshit. It's over, man. You know, that time frame of coming here to America and prospering, that shit is over, man. You know, that the jig is up, you know. So we're coming to that time where, you know, a lot of these people that's losing their jobs, losing these benefits, you know, you're really going to see the true colors of these individuals. Okay, a lot of people are going to start really showing their true colors. You know, adversity does that. You know, us that's in this truth, us, we just got to hold fast to the faith. You know, keep trusting and believing in Yahweh Shemi Shai and remain obedient, and we'll be all right, you know. All right, back in Matthew 24 and 21, it says, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So the Lord is going to shorten the time, because the Lord, like he said, if the Lord doesn't shorten the time, no flesh will be saved. That's how much destruction is coming. That's how much destruction is coming. That's how bad it's going to be. It's going to be so bad to where the Lord is going to have to quicken the time. He's going to shorten the time, because a lot of people are going to be dying very rapidly, man. Okay, you're going to have mass death out here rapidly, and see, this is why, we stress these things heavily, man, because this thing is deadly serious, man. This is life and death, man. A lot of people out here are getting ready to meet the gruesome end, man. All right, this is Romans chapter 13, verse 11. It says, "And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to wake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe." Right, so this ain't the time to go back into ignorance, man, darkness. This ain't the time to be getting caught up into the folly of this world, the foolishness of this world, man. Okay, it's time to lock in. It's time to really keep our focus. Have our heart, our mind fixated on this truth, man. Have our mind fixated on the kingdom of heaven, okay? And keep that fire burning within us, man. Wherever we got to do to keep that fire burning, we got to keep that fire burning within us, for this truth, man. Our faith, our belief. All right. It says, "The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light." Right. This truth, man. This is the armor of light. Okay. It's time to put off that shit that we learned from the world, man. Don't basically that old man, that old nigga. Okay. That's that darkness. Okay. We're supposed to cast those things off. Okay, and become that new creature, which is through the armor of light, which is this Bible. Okay. It says, "Let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness, not in strife and envying." Right. We're supposed to live an honest life, man. Go out there, earn an honest living, not being a damn crook, a thief, not being a robber, extortioner. Okay. We're supposed to live an honest life. Okay. Also, speak the truth. Okay. Okay. We're not supposed to be out here in the midst of these people out here, going to all these gatherings, getting drunk amongst these people. That's what that rioting and drunkenness is. Going to all these different clubs and just being engulfed in the world. We're not supposed to be in that spirit. Now, every once in a while, you might go out and get a drink. You might go to a little bar. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But even then, we got to monitor, how often we do those things as well, because we coming into a time where, hey, these, like I said, these people out here they got, they pissed off, man. You got a lot of spirits out here that's agitated. So a lot, you're going to have a lot of crazy shit going on. So, we got to move wisely out here, man. We're going to be out and about, we got to do what we got to do and get the fuck out of the way, man, because, we just want to be wise, man. I'm just going to keep it like that. It says, "Let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness, not in strife and envying." All right, we're not supposed to have, strife. We ain't supposed to be beefing and envying one another. Okay, it says, "But put ye on the Lord, Yahushua Hamashiach, and make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof." Okay, so we supposed to put on the same mind frame, attitude as our Lord Yahushua has. okay, and not to make provision for the flesh, okay, living after the flesh, okay, premeditating, wickedness in the, in the mind, okay, because that's what it's talking about, because Jake premeditate, or Jacob be scheming in their mind against they brother, their own people, about what evil they gonna do, whether it's adultery, or how they gonna extort their brother, they gonna rob them, murder them, all this wicked ass shit Jake be doing, man. Okay, we're not supposed to have that mentality in this faith, man, in this walk. Okay, because as I read in the 11th verse, okay, it's high time to wake out of sleep, man. Our salvation is nearer than what we believe, man. Things are moving quick, so we want to make sure, we're doing the best we can do, putting our best foot forward to be in the good graces of the Lord, to be in the Lord's favor. That's what we want to be. We want to be in the Lord's favor, so when all the hell breaks loose, the Lord's going to have that hedge about us, man, So, yeah, that's pretty much it. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up. Like I said, I pray this is edifying to you sincere brothers, as well as you few sisters out there. Stay strong, keep fighting, man. We almost out of here. So with that, I'm going to give all glory and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Honors and salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing his word in truth and sincerity. Shalom.